thing on?
Can you hear me?
Are we live?
It's been a long time. Gotta know how any of this works.
I've been fiending to talk about wrestling for a while.
Mr. Beefy, hang tight. We're going to talk all about that a little bit later.
So, Mr. Beefy, long time no see.
Been a while, man. Jones, how are you, sir?
In order to protect those who are innocent, I'm not going to comment right now.
What?
Wow. Joseph, how are you?
Doing okay. Not too bad. I'm just having someone mean mug me right now. I'm like, I feel like I'm John Cena and he's Mark Henry back in like 11, 12. Like, jeez.
Joseph,
you think gonna be that easy? I'm just glad. Hold on, we'll get to it. But I'm happy. Okay.
Are you?
Because you put up a graphic. So hold on. I'm happy.
Oh, we're gonna get to that as well.
Yeah.
Only you guys obviously know about it, but it has been a while, guys. I haven't slept in a fucking month. Are the bags showing up? The thing is, when it's 3 o'clock in the morning and you're tired and you're changing a shitty diaper, and then you go to change that diaper, and then the baby shits again. And then you go to change that diaper, and then the baby's not done and shits one more time. That's been my life the last month. So I take full responsibility for the late show and the absence.
It's just a cycle you're going through. Like, how old's the other one? Like 2, 3?
3.
3. Okay,
3
you're in the
old.
terrible 3s now, and then you're gonna get the 4s, 5s. Like, I'm in the terrible 13s, where it's like, we're fighting over the PS5. Like, it's
Oh my god. See, you and Jones have teenagers. I will get to that point in one day. Right now, I'm just trying to get a little bit of sleep, man. But it's been fun. I went to the Elimination Chamber. We're going to talk all about that tonight. It's my first event in a while, and my goodness, what an event to go to. What an event to go to. Sal has 3. The oldest is 21. It's terrible all ages.
dude. I hear you.
We'll have to message you, Sal, for some advice when all of our kids get to 21.
You want to know like how long we haven't been on? I think I went to the Raw right after the Rumble, and I don't think we've been on since before then.
It's been a long time.
We haven't been on since January.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it was like a couple days before the Rumble, or like a week before the Rumble.
To prove how long it's been, I've been on a cruise. I squashed beef with wrestlers. They didn't even know I had beef with them about.
Ahmed Johnson.
Oh.
I like AEW again.
What?
Where are we? What universe is this?
It's been quite some time. Like, the Eagles won the Super Bowl. I am your reigning defending TNA champion. So, I got the
It's a
chilling
beautiful
international waters with a bunch of people. Will Ospreay is probably the most fun drunk I've ever been around in my life.
I've heard stories about
He
Mr.
wrestled
Ospreay.
in the lobby of the ship.
Wow.
Is he that nice?
Yes, he is. Him and Takeshita had a match. He got suplexed on the floor of the ship. They were having a strong style match. Nick Wayne got involved. They were just chopping each other back and forth. It was...
And you know how much I like Will Ospreay, and you didn't FaceTime me. Wow. That hurts.
I really didn't have a signal. In international borders, you really don't get a signal. And,
yes, Juan, we are live. It is more shocking than a Cena heel turn.
And I got to meet one of my favorite wrestlers.
Nick Nemeth?
Yes.
Ugh.
Did you tell him to tell his brother to drop the lawsuit against Punk?
That was pre-lawsuit.
Holy shit! See, I don't know what universe we are in. What time?
That was pre-lawsuit.
It has been a while.
It has been
a while. Were you like giddy, like smiling ear to ear to meet him?
No, I actually wasn't. I was chill meeting him. I was more giddy meeting Kazarian.
Wow. You also met Chris Jericho.
Yes.
You met quite a few people on this Jericho cruise. Would you do it again, Jones?
I'm looking into it now. It's actually next November.
Wow.
Well, I know if Nyla Rose, I don't know if it's possible, but if she gets pregnant, we know by who.
Nyla Rose is one of the most amazing people I've ever met.
Mirabito?
No, Nyla Rose is more impressive than Mirabito.
No, when he's getting pregnant by Mirabito.
Hey.
Mirabito also made the trip to Toronto for the Elimination Chamber. He's all over the globe.
Yeah,
he's traveling.
He's traveling, Matt. That's the beauty of not having children.
I
love my kid. Don't take that as
I love both my kids,
but it's the beauty.
He's got
of
that freedom.
Yeah,
100%. Boys, this is nice. Shall we dive into the Elimination Chamber? We'll do a bit of a review. I know you guys both watched it.
We watched it, but you witnessed it live.
I did. It was on the 100s in the Sky Dome, not the Rogers Center, the Sky Dome.
How was the atmosphere live? Because on TV it came off as like mid.
When I went back and I watched some of the highlights online, I think there were some sound issues because it was insanely loud. The crowd was in it for, I'd say, most of the event. Maybe the Trish Tiffy time match, they were a little bit quiet and they used that as their bathroom break because that was the match on the card to do so of the four. But it was wild. It was wild. There were some issues with some lights. I think some of the people in the 500 sections were being blinded by some of the spotlights and they were chanting "Turn off the lights," then demanding refunds afterwards.
I did hear that.
But yeah, there were a couple. It was pretty loud. So I'm not sure if that came through, but if you heard that, then
because you can hear it in some spots. Because especially that match.
I know Tom of Pure Fandom. He was at the event as well. Shout out to Tom of Pure Fandom. He was at the. Yeah, it's always going to be the Sky Dome, no matter what. Okay. Just like Scotiabank Arena is always going to be the ACC to me.
Vlad Jr. is already packing his bags over at the Rogers Center.
He is. I hate to say it. The last time you and I talked about that, I was hopeful, but I spoke too soon. Jose Canseco is coming to Niagara Falls Comic-Con. I'm trying to convince Jones to come to that, but he just
that might be the thing to keep me from going.
Oh,
Jones, you get a Jose Canseco bat signed.
I've interacted with him before. I'm trying to be nice, but he's.
You can air grievances, Jones.
I forgot. This isn't a show where we have to worry about monetization, where we have to worry about too many F-bombs. Fuck him.
That's right.
Fuck him. Fuck him. He's a supreme dickhead. He's an arrogant prick.
But you made
what up?
You made
amends on the ship. So 2025 is all about amending, right, Jones?
This is how we ended 2024 into 2025.
Still, fuck you, Jose Canseco.
Holy shit.
That's not changing.
Every time I hear Jose Canseco, it reminds me of the Ninja Turtles movie. A Jose Canseco bet. Tell me, you didn't pay money for this. Or the ball bouncing off the top of his head going into the stands for like a home run.
This is going back to the Rumble. Tav says that he bets Jones nodded when AJ entered.
You know me well. I was very happy to hear that old theme back, but I'm one of the few that actually like this.
Still hasn't gotten the stains out of those pants.
I like the heel theme, and I'm actually hoping he actually goes back and wins that belt I was just holding not that long ago.
He's got a couple TNA belts.
How
that you
about
can maybe
him
show off
hating
with tonight.
his original TNA thing?
He heard it so long. I'm not
Yeah.
mad at it. I'm not
Get
mad
ready
at
to
that.
fly. Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna have to trick him and play it though.
If he shows up on TNA television, they might have to
They better already have him walking out and then switch it.
do a bit of a remix.
Mhm.
Guys, it was a pretty good show. What would you rate it overall? Let's start at the end and kind of work our way back. We'll go in chronological order. But what did you guys give the overall show out of 10?
Out of 10,
We're talking about Elimination Chamber.
Yes, sir.
I'm giving you. It was only one down point for me. That was the women's tag match, and it was only.
I'm giving it a 9.5 out of 10
because of the positioning. I would still give it about a 9.
I was gonna give it an 8.5.
Yeah, man. And seeing that in live, I'm so happy to be able to witness that in person. We're going to get obviously to the meat and potatoes at the end of our discussion of the chamber, but to see that live was crazy, dude. Just insane.
I was definitely sitting there like it should have been me.
Now, was that like
could have been you?
Was that your first time seeing like a chamber match live?
Yeah, I've never seen a chamber
How
before.
is it like where you sit at, where you're able to see everything with like the pods?
So I was on the 100s, section 132 or 134, something like that. I had a very good view. Mike Martelli was also in the same section, and from our vantage point, it was very clear. You couldn't see some of the pods closer to the ramp, just because of the positioning. I think you'd have to be a little bit higher up to see that. But we were close enough to see the ring quite clearly, even in the lights out match, and we'll get to that in a little bit.
Always wondered like what like the chamber match, like in the event, like where is the best seat to see everything? Because
that's a good question, Joey. I think to see everything a little bit better, you'd have to be a little bit higher up. So maybe the 200 levels at the Sky Dome would have been better for that. The 500s, I know quite a few people that were in the 500s because the tickets were just ridiculous. And we talked about this before. Ever since TKO formed, the prices have gone up. 500 level tickets were still, some people paid like $300 a pop at 500 level.
It's funny you say that because when I worked for a sports franchise, when WWE would come to town, we would get as employees discounted tickets. So when Raw came back in January here, I asked some of my former coworkers, "Yo, is there any discounts, He goes, "No." And I found out TKO is not doing that. So when they go into each city, the employees are not getting discounts like if you work at the arena or whatever.
That's crazy. The other criticism I saw online were people saying, well, there's only like 38,000 people in attendance. And for the Sky Dome, Rogers Center, whatever we want to call it, that's significantly less than when WrestleMania 18 was held at the same venue. Sky Dome's gone through a lot of renovations. They've actually eliminated about 15,000 seats. And because of the chamber and the cranes and everything, oh my God. because of the crane and all of that, a lot of the floor was not used. So they could have crammed in more people on the floor if they wanted to. But it was a loud crowd. It was a great event. Met up with a lot of people that I have been communicating with for a number of years in our little niche hobby, and it was fun. It was a lot of fun. It was a good event. Looking forward to the next one.
Going off. I'm apologizing.
You tell those people that they're not important right now.
No, it's notifications that Joey Bosa is getting released.
Oh, wow.
Oh, we knew that.
Yeah, we knew it, but it was just we were just waiting for it.
Dude, I mean, look at free agencies coming up. Like when, like shortly.
Very soon.
Like,
Just want to throw this back up, Mr. Ronnie Fields. I asked you. You've been replaced.
Damn.
Roy Wilson is now my better half.
Oh.
And I got to hold the Roy Wilson Traveling Championship for all those haters.
Does it look nice?
It's a beautiful. Miles and Gav, the folks at Main Event Belts, might be. I'm going to plug them. I'm going to say they are the best belt makers in the world. That's coming from me. That's coming from this fanboy.
In
The leather
world?
in the world. In the world. Come at me. Miles's leather is better than everyone else's. Don't slide into my DMs. Don't make your comments. I'm saying this based off my own opinion. You can agree to disagree. It's my opinion. I think Miles is phenomenal. Brother,
I
you
can
don't
see
even know.
Panetta holding that belt, and Roy's like, "Give it back. Hold on."
I was actually going to beat the shit out of Roy and take that belt and not allow him to leave Canada with it. But no, joking aside, I think the quality through and through, from the paint to the plates to the leather, the whole package, main event belts are phenomenal.
Do they only
They have a Macho
custom
Man.
belts?
They have they're doing fully.
I saw the Macho Man.
Yeah, that's going to be released to the public March 27th. For anyone who wants a Macho Man licensed belt, I believe it's about $2,500 US.
That's not bad. I was expecting their belts to be more expensive.
No, their belts are fairly marketed, and for the quality that you're getting, it is incredible. And being able to see it in person was a lot of fun. Being able to touch it, I do have Miles's leather, but anytime I have an opportunity to get closer to Miles Lewis, I love that man. He is extremely talented, really nice guy. And I know to send things to the UK is kind of expensive and tough, especially during these times. But if you ever have the opportunity to send your belts to Miles Lewis in the UK, or even get a send out strap, man, definitely look into that. But there's a lot of good leather guys out there, but I'm going to plug them. Mike Martelli is another guy that came down with his wife. Hell of a guy. Really nice person. I don't know why I have so many friends in New York. Him or Joe. But no, awesome to hang out with some guys from the belt hobby, and just it was a great experience overall. The one thing I will say is the lineup to get into that damn superstore in that cold weather was ridiculous. They made us wait. They closed down the superstore. It was supposed to be open the whole day. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And on the day of the event, they closed the superstore down for a period of time. I guess they had to restock and whatnot. And they would only let you back in closer to event time if you had a ticket. So you couldn't just walk in, get your stuff, and walk out. My buddy and I, Dylan, we're going to go get some stuff, drop it off, then come back, get some food, do whatever, right? We actually got trapped in the Sky Dome because we had to check in and there was no re-entry. We waited outside in minus 17 degrees Celsius for an hour just to get into that place. So that was horribly mismanaged, but it was certainly worth it once we got in. And the event, we're going to get into that now, was amazing. The very first match.
Oh, perfect view, too.
On the card was the women's Elimination Chamber match. I think if Joe Nucci is still watching us, Mr. Beefy, this picture was for him. What did you guys think of this match? I know what Jones is going to jump right into, and it's this.
A storm is coming.
What a way to start off the Elimination Chamber.
And
what a return.
Before the match started, I sent the message out to a couple people. What did it say?
You predicted this.
I didn't get no message. Jones doesn't message
from it. You get a message.
Jones doesn't message me no more.
I was actually picking with the people who were actually in their arena. That's all. That's all it was. It was like Jade's coming back. It was like, really? Jade's coming back.
Yeah. He called it. He did call it. And then shortly after that message came through, her music hit. She came out.
Called it? What do you mean, Ronnie? Oh, Ronnie got a message. What the shit is this shit?
Well,
Joseph,
me and Ronnie got close since he abandoned Ronnie. So now I'm moving into that.
Oh, y'all.
I'm moving into that spot.
You don't message me either. And you only messaged me today because of the raffle that you actually are playing.
Waffle.
Oh, what are you talking
Right.
about?
The
All right,
waffle.
we're gonna air some grievances on the show now.
I'm sorry. I've been busy
Oh, you've been busy.
with
You've been busy.
with
Hold me
this.
back, Jones.
Stop. Wait. Okay.
I've been occupied by a short little fucker who says bro all the time and says, you know the fucking vibes, okay?
Oh my god, is that what they're saying these days?
Yeah, we've been playing, WWE 2K, okay? Getting ourselves prepared, okay? Devon and Bubba Ray Dudley back again in 2025.
Does that make you Spike?
Wow. I'll call you sign guy Dudley.
Oh my goodness, Jones, you called it. You called it.
You
Joseph
call
will get
shit
over
because
it.
I didn't see it.
And then look at poor Bianca. This was obviously before the end of the match, but Jones, has she got something to do with it?
I think it's a swerve.
She got me that night. Going back and watching, you have to pay attention to all of her mannerisms. When Jade's music hit, she took
What did she
off her
do?
jacket.
Yeah, right away.
Her jacket was on right away. Like, Naomi looked back at her. They both had a confused look like, uh-oh. What's going on? And then she's been acting very heelish in her mannerisms on. She did it on Raw, but that'll be discussed later. And then you saw Naomi damn near get her neck broke, or her neck broken. She's going around with a neck brace right now. Kayfabe is still alive, folks. So that was fun. And then she was like, she could have got out the cage, but she conveniently stopped before and then allowed Liv to attack her. And then she was celebrating, like if she was so concerned about them getting hurt, she would have ran out the cage right after she won, just to check check to see what was going on with either one of them.
Or she could have told the ref, open the pot, open the pot, open the pot.
There was nothing. There was no effort for her to get out.
Listen, I think Bianca is the real mastermind behind the Jade attack. Could have been Bianca wearing a rig, maybe Naomi's or what, but I see this playing out as this. This is just my fandom mind racing. Okay. I see the scenario where Bianca attacks Jade because Jade came in with all this hype and Bianca's like, oh, you trying to take all my shine. I'm the EST. I'm the strongest, the fastest, all this stuff. The toughest, like, and you're trying to steal my shine. You're the new it girl. So I see Bianca, because when Bianca was in NXT and she was a heel, loved her in NXT as a heel, perfect heel. She was cocky and arrogant. I see that coming back.
I like that. And I'd love to see that play out. And I think with what we saw happen in the chamber, there's a very good possibility.
When it happens, I'm going to text a few people and say I called it.
Jesus. Oh my goodness. You guys see the picture of Liv that she posted the next day?
Oh.
All those bruises all over her arms. Holy shit. Here's the other thing too. When Bianca was whipping her hair, you can hear it.
Oh.
Loud. I don't know if that came through on the
Oh, yes.
That was the loudest.
Well, see, some people ask, is that just sounds piped in? No, that is not sounds piped in by any means. Dude, you can hear that echo. Doesn't matter how loud the crowd is, you could hear her hair whip.
I will tell you
when I heard it. I cringed when I heard that whip.
Listen, I will say this about this match. This match set the tone. Because after this match ended, in the middle of the in the middle of the match and like when it ended, I was like, yo, I'd hate to be the match that has to follow this one. Because these girls, especially Liv, I'm telling you right now, Liv showed out in the chamber. Liv's a star. She may not be the biggest, but yo, her mannerism, like the way she pinned Alexa Bliss and she used Bianca's hair, perfect.
That might have been Liv's best performance.
And she's grown
in
a year. Like, you know, last year when she won the belt from, like when she came back, she won the belt from Becky. You know, she was like right here. Her feud with Rhea took her to the next level, but now like she's just.
No, she's incredible, and she really shined in that match. A lot of people were going into it thinking Alexa was the obvious choice. I felt that kind of going into it to a degree, just because of some of the teases that we saw. But I'm glad Bianca won. I'm glad that we have so many different possibilities with Jade and Naomi. I was going to call her Trinity for a second. But this was the right call. Absolutely.
I'm going to tell you this.
Rhea is money.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you this. I don't think the Alexa Bliss and Liv feud is over. I see Liv and Raquel defending the women's tag team titles against Alexa and Nikki Cross at WrestleMania.
I see that too.
I as well.
I'm looking forward though to seeing how they bring Nikki back and in what capacity, because
and how they do.
What's going on with the Wyatt Six?
Yeah,
is that still a thing?
They've been showing some glitches.
They show a lot of glitches with Alexa too.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll have to wait and see how and when that happens. We only have so much time before WrestleMania, so.
I mean, you got
almost a month. You got 6 weeks. It's April 19th and 20th.
I mean, and the crazy thing is, who is Bianca facing at WrestleMania?
I know already.
I know too.
Did you guys get a text message that I didn't get?
It's
just a guess, like the way it's going.
It's not a guess anymore. It's just obvious.
It's a triple threat.
I think so too. There's gonna be a couple triple threats, I think, at WrestleMania.
Oh yeah.
This year.
This is going to rival one of them WrestleManias with the multi-person matches.
Oh, WrestleMania 16.
Yeah. Next on the ballot, boys, was the tag team match. Was the low part of the card, I will say. It was still entertaining. I think it was more a hometown crowd match, having Trish back in the ring. Joey, I know you love Tiffany Stratton. She's your girl. You've loved her since she debuted. But you know what? She's improved. Speaking of women that have improved immensely, she continues to get better and better all the time. So I really enjoyed this match. Trish, I gotta say, Trish, dude, she's what, 50 now?
49.
49.
50.
Yeah,
50.
pushing 50.
Yeah. She's incredible.
This match was weird to me, though.
What was weird about it, Jones?
Tiffy doesn't know whether she's a heel or a face anymore. Because maybe I'm the only one that noticed it, but when she kicked Trish at the end of the match, it was very awkward. It was very entitled to me.
She's like a tweener. Like, she still has the heel tendencies, but like she comes out and their crowd's cheering her, but it's like she wants to be a heel, but like she's a natural heel.
But she kicked Trish. It was like,
we didn't get to it yet.
Just saying, get out my spot. Get out the way. Trish wasn't even in the way.
Did you see her kick Trish underneath the rope?
That's what I was talking about. That's the kick I'm referring to. It was like, what was that? You could have just said, hey, I'm going to do my spot. You didn't have to kick her.
Yeah. I think that, she teeters between heel and face. She's not quite a full baby face, but I would say she's leaning a little bit more towards the baby face than heel, but she still has those tendencies. And I don't think her baby face run is going to last very long. I wouldn't be surprised if she turns on Trish.
That part is what made me mad. The maddest about it. Because if your spot was in that corner, cool, but it wasn't. I wouldn't oppose this because I would do at this point. I'll do anything to get AJ Lee back in the ring.
Yeah, especially after that little tweet that Becky put out. He deleted it too. But yeah, if that happens, I'm all for it. I think all of us here are all for it.
She's
Anything
ready to go.
AJ.
All you have to do is watch her on heels.
Yeah,
she was ready.
She's ready. Then we had arguably the match of the night. You can make this, I think, this case. I can't stand Sami Zayn. I've made that known.
Amen.
Show. But I will give credit where credit is due. This match was absolute. This was crazy, guys. And Jones, I think you and I had this conversation. These are guys that love each other.
Mm-hmm.
These are guys that are friends. And they put on that kind of a caliber match.
If that's the friend, I don't need a friend like that.
Can you imagine if it was bitter enemies? If it was someone like Seth and Punk that was in that match, what they would do to each other? Not people that truly... They put on a hell of a battle. Spot after spot, the things that they pulled out. And a lot of people were asking me, what was the lighting like in the arena, because it was so dimmed. How did it transpire on television in comparison to? I really liked the lighting in the arena. It was a softer lighting. It was easier to watch, and it made the atmosphere. It really set the tone and the mood for this match.
I hate to say it, but this was like a Ring of Honor style feel for them.
It very much was. This was a throwback in many ways. And that was a lights out match. And I hate to bring AEW up, but that's a lights out match, and that's how you do it.
And I love the fact that this barbed wire wasn't gimmicked. It was legit barbed wire. They refused to have it gimmicked.
If only they could be pals like Todd. Where's Todd?
Listen, F that ginger. But I will say this. I don't think Owens and Zayn have had a bad match together in their careers. But
no.
Here's one thing I do not like. Why call it an unsanctioned match when you could just call it a no DQ or a no holds barred match?
That's a fair point.
Well,
an unsanctioned lights out, that's typically at the end of the show once the cameras are, like that's typically what it is. So yeah, if we're going to be sticklers about the terminology, yeah, I agree with you.
Like back in AEW when you had Moxley and Omega in the unsanctioned match, like that felt like an actual unsanctioned match. This one just felt like a no DQ match, basically.
And they went out try to keep with the gimmick of him having the neck injury. We can't clear you, so if you do this is on you.
When they took out the hockey stick, I don't know how you gimmick a hockey stick. I don't think you can gimmick a hockey stick because it looked pretty. It looked like it was a wooden hockey stick. It wasn't carbon fiber. That hurt like a motherfucker. Like that was crazy. And at the end of that match, we got yet another return.
Building towards Mania?
Dude, when Randy's music hit, the Sky Dome was electric. What a pop. And everyone's singing along his theme song. It's taken all these years for people to kind of sing along to Randy's theme. But it was what a great return. We were spoiled this PLE, both with Jade's return and then Randy's.
Isn't it amazing how you had something in the beginning, the middle, and the end of this pay-per-view?
Storytelling at its finest.
But do you get a triple threat from this scenario at Mania as well? Zayn, Owens, and Orton? possibly, or just Orton versus KO at Mania.
I think it's
I
going to
like
be
El
Orton
Generico
versus
more
KO.
than Sammy.
I think Sammy's going to take time off to sell this. Because remember, they did this with the end of the match was a callback to NXT.
That's right.
When he power bombed him.
Mm.
Oh yeah, when he beat him for the title and everything.
And not even when he beat, like when he first the night he debuted, Sammy.
Yeah. When
He
Sammy
attacked
took
him.
it off of Neville.
Yeah.
And he power bombed him on the apron.
And shout out to Sammy for the adjustment for when Kevin couldn't get him up all the way, and he made it seem like he was fighting through it.
When they were coming up in the crowd, up the stairs, that was our section where Martelli and I were sitting. And if they had gone up a little bit higher, I was going to flash you guys, but they didn't get to that point. So you'll have to wait. But maybe next time. Martelli goes, his wife fell asleep on his shoulder at that point. Had to wake her up just to stand and watch Randy's interviews. It was the lighting. The lighting had a lot to do with it. It set the tone, set the mood.
And what did we have next?
Oh, what did we
The
have
men's
next?
chamber.
There's a couple of things. Wait 1 second. Here we go. I didn't upload a lot of pictures, but I'm going to get down to this part of the match. I know I glossed over a little bit, especially Logan Paul coming out with the American flag too. a lot of moves.
Did you see what he wrote in the pod?
No, I might have missed that. What did he write?
I think it was OVO at Drake.
Did they announce that Drake was in the audience on TV?
He was never acknowledged.
Good. I'm glad they didn't acknowledge him. But now he's following Liv on Instagram. This guy's trying to. Isn't she too old for him?
Liv and Bret Hart, if I'm not mistaken.
Isn't Liv too old for him?
I mean, he's got to do some, to get his reputation back. He's like,
I don't think there's any. There's nothing. He's not coming back after everything that's been said and done. They should get a buried alive match and just throw him in. But poor Drew. Drew lost again. Lost first. He's spiraling. Logan. They kept falling. Where we were sitting. I was looking at what the hell's going on, because we were sitting fairly close, but yet not close enough to see what was actually happening. But you could see, saw him keep putting something up. But yeah, Seth, Punk, and Cena almost made their own chapter of the men's chamber match. It was incredible. I agree. And Drew losing before Paul cut me deep. Drew is just going down that path, man.
Well, Drew had to lose because of that incident where information was put behind a paywall saying Drew was going to win the chamber.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you had to make him look bad.
Absolutely.
And you had to build on his storyline of him and Priest.
Nope. That's likely the match at WrestleMania, him and Damian Priest. Is there going to be a kind of stipulation with that? Are they just going to have typical exhibition?
Loser leaves the show. I don't know.
Just a hard-hitting match.
Loser can't tweet.
Yeah. I love Priest. I really think he's come a long way, but I hope kind of behind the scenes, keep it kayfabe, he starts training with Drew, because the guy, he's a specimen in and of itself. He's a big guy. He's got the look, but he's got to get a little bit leaner, I think. And if he were to train with Drew and get ripped like Drew, I think he'd be unstoppable.
He's also a lot older than Drew, so his body ain't going to do that.
Yeah.
I felt like in this match, like Priest was like the odd man out, like the ugly stepchild that nobody wanted to see in the match. Like,
good night, Ronnie. Sweet dreams. Loser goes to NXT or TNA.
At this point, that's not a downgrade.
I was going to say that's not a downgrade, especially if you go to TNA in 2025. It's certainly not a down. It's not a demotion at all. But
it could be. You know,
we'll see. We'll see. Jones, you should pull that TNA belt back up.
or they go to NWA Power.
Listen. Now that Natalia's going to be, or not, yeah. I don't know what world we're living in now, but now NWA and WWE are going to be having their little crossover too. So
it's good that they. It's always nice when you could help out the little baby promotions, you know.
Well, you need to help Billy because ever since Billy jumped on
help.
board,
Billy was on Rogan the other day.
Was he? Was it worth watching?
Wow.
No.
Okay, see that's insulting.
That's a punishment.
You might as well just retire. Just retire at that point. But yeah, man. Seeing this was quite the moment too. Seeing Punk and Seth, we know the hatred that they have for one another, and then throw Cena into the mix, and then Cena and Punk teaming up together to beat the shit out of Rollins. Like, amazing stuff.
That combo was crazy.
Oh Lord. So does Joe. Joe believes too.
Oh hell no. Hell no.
It's your TNA champion.
No, I'm your TNA champion.
That's true. You'll always be my TNA champion. And
can we give some love to Logan Paul? Like,
in what way? In what way?
Oh man, like,
I'm not giving him love because if the match they think they're about to do, I'm really not feeling that for WrestleMania. AJ Styles should not be fighting Logan Paul at WrestleMania.
I don't think AJ is going to be fighting Logan.
It seems like they're going in that direction. I really hope not.
I have a new thing for AJ where I think he should be.
He should be in TNA.
No, he should be in a triple threat against Braun Breaker and Finn Balor at Mania for the IC title.
The IC title?
That would be interesting.
Wouldn't mind that.
But
wouldn't mind one bit.
I just want to give Logan love because, man, Logan, like, a lot of people don't like him.
Could you tell from the boos?
Yes. But that's the thing. Like, he is a great heel at getting heat.
Block him.
No.
Block him permanently.
No. You got to give Logan Paul a win at Mania. So if Logan beats
over AJ Styles?
Listen.
AJ Styles? Oh,
I mean,
I know we haven't been on in a while.
But then he can get arrested later for beating up a senior citizen. So, I mean.
Oh, my God.
You're going to have Logan Paul beat AJ Styles at Mania, Jones. I'm sorry.
Yeah, this is where I hope they go in the Breaker direction, but it seems like they're going with Logan. And I really don't.
I would not be upset if Breaker beating him.
Jones.
I wouldn't.
Yeah, that I can accept.
Logan Paul. You're going to give Logan Paul a win at Mania.
I can see that happening.
It's going to happen. He looks like he wants.
That's not even the same comparison. It's two wrestlers versus a social media guy who became a wrestler and one of the best wrestlers of all time.
Jones, if Logan Paul faces AJ at Mania, we're going to bet $20. Or I'll buy you a waffle spot.
Yeah, he's very giving these days. This is the first time he participated in one.
Because it's something, I want.
There might be another one coming up too. So just letting you know.
Shit. Yeah. I'm just saying, Logan Paul knows how to generate heat. Just give the guy some credit. That's all I'm saying.
Jones, you can't win. Just give up, buddy.
I'm not going to give up, but the same thing is it's not the same.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
You're right. It isn't. Because Jericho was a bigger star than AJ.
Oh my lord!
I agree.
Thank you everybody for watching. We're not going to talk about the big angle at the end of the show. Let's get to the big angle. Let's get to it. How quickly Cena pulled Punk back into the ring to put him into that submission after he was stomped was extremely heelish.
I'm
Oh,
sorry.
dude, when
It
he
was extremely heelish.
when he saw like after that curb stomp, he was like, oh, he like went for it right away. Like, I've never seen Cena
There was your
move
first
that
sign.
fast.
Yeah. And yet great finish. Punk did not tap out. He passed out. I think that was the right call.
Whose man's is this?
Listen here. Crow is a former wrestler, okay, who wrestled with, I think it's Eric of the War Raiders. Okay. Okay. Just saying. Okay.
He didn't tap.
He didn't tap out. He passed.
He passed out.
Yeah.
Big difference.
Yeah. Okay.
And then after that,
Okay.
Jones, the floor is yours.
For as far as what?
Just speak, King. Whatever you want.
Fro, I'm going to let you have this. Because I know the truth in my head. This is the year of truth and living in your truth. So, if that's what you believe, more power to you. I'm not going to argue with you about your beliefs. However,
I thought you were gonna say truth and consequences. I'll be like, huh?
it's not going to be about consequences because I don't know him. I may never even come cross paths with this man ever in life. However,
I have.
Make no mistake about this. What happened after the match was arguably the biggest moment in the history of WWE.
Ooh.
Like, you got the final boss showing up because he wanted his response from Cody Rhodes. Cody should have realized something. Why didn't Cena leave the ring? It had nothing to do with him. Usually, the other wrestler will give you the ring.
And he was
Walk away.
parading around. He was kind of jumping, happy-go-lucky, smiling. But can we pause for 1 second? Actually, sorry. No, I'll hold that thought. He didn't leave. And then we got the moment that shook the wrestling universe.
Yeah, the F-bomb got through clearly, and they're even replaying the F-bomb on social media.
The fact that WWE's own social media accounts, I thought at the very least they would have bleeped that. But the fact that they're allowing that F-bomb to be played over and over and over again, and the way Cody delivered that, fuck you to The Rock.
Hey, Rock.
Wow.
And then there was something we overlooked previous to this.
What is that?
The Rock went
Hustle, loyalty, respect.
at Bad Blood. You turn it. There's your Cena hand gesture.
Here you go.
He just went.
How about this?
Oh, but the balloons didn't happen.
Yeah, the balloons didn't happen.
Hold on. What was the poster for Elimination Chamber?
Yeah, that was weird. If you look at it, there was
Three of them.
the three of them together.
Yeah. And when you look at that, now I'm gonna bring this up for a second because I know Travis Scott is allegedly training to get into a WWE ring. But my God. Oh, poor Cody. Now, if the tabloids are true, he ruptured his eardrum.
Well, I mean, Meltzer said that, but take it with a grain of salt.
Meltzer tweet delete guy.
Yeah. So here's I would say about that. People were wondering, like, why is Travis Scott there? Listen, Travis Scott's a big star. Okay.
He's huge.
Celebs are gonna be with WWE. You gotta get over it. Okay. Here's where I think in the back, Cody said, "Hey, like, lay it on me." So I think that could have been it.
Yeah.
What happened?
And it would
I
be the
definitely
first
believe
one.
that to be true.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be the first
Like,
one.
make it believable, Travis.
Exactly.
Like, go in.
Cody's the kind of guy that would want that.
Yeah.
He would
He's
want
from the
that.
old school, like
This
with
was
Dusty, like,
perfectly executed from the Rolex watch. And the great thing about the Rolex watch was how Cole and McAfee, for a second, I think McAfee was the one that corrected Cole, but Cole said it was brass knucks, if I'm not mistaken. They had no idea how this was going to play out the way it did. And that's what made it even more special.
I'm watching it with, my wife, my son, and my wife goes, "Why does he got brass knuckles?" I'm like, "No, it's a watch." She goes, "What do you mean just watch?" I'm like, "No, it's a," and then she's like, "Oh, that's what."
It's his father's Rolex.
Here's also, when Rock and Cody were going through their little, like, promo thing in the ring, Cena's sitting in the corner and Travis Scott is right next to him. Like, you realize, like, if Travis is with The Rock, like, wouldn't he be over on the other side? Like, it was just... But
the psychology, yeah, if you pay attention, you rewatch it, there were signs. There were signs it was going to happen. And maybe this is us kind of showing our age a little bit, but I'm sure for your son's, what, 13, you said, Joe? Yeah. People his age, they love Travis Scott. This is how you bring eyes to the product. I think a lot of young people, a lot of teenagers who are watching wrestling or heard about this, talking about it at recess the next day or on the Monday. Travis Scott draws eyes.
It brings ears.
100%.
Brings views to
in
WWE.
The casual fans because it's WrestleMania season.
People do not understand that. Like, I listen to Travis Scott. I have a few of his albums. Like, Travis Scott's a big star. Like, it brings eyes, ears. Like, same with Logan. You may not like him, but he brings heat. He brings eyes, ears,
I think that's what people don't realize. And I think they're either ignorant to that or maybe they're showing their age or what. Travis Scott is a much bigger deal than what a lot of the criticisms that I've heard on a lot of podcasts or a lot of dirt sheets that are kind of throwing Travis under the rug for a lot of reasons. It's all about
marketing. It's a smart move.
100%.
You're going to bring in money.
He's essentially a smaller Rodman in this situation.
Yeah,
yep. Like and people will say, "Oh, he's not like Dennis Rodman." No, I think you can make a very good argument that it's very, very Rodman-like.
Here, you know what it reminds? Like with Travis, you know how you were talking about like kids going to school. They're probably like, "Yo, did you see Travis Scott on WWE?" And they may not watch wrestling. They may go watch it. You know what the smack reminded me of? Uncensored 97, okay? NWO versus WCW versus Piper's team. At the end, when Luger is laying down on the ground after they spray paint NWO on him, Rodman paintbrushed him.
That's right.
And it like reminded me of that.
I'm about to say, this was talked about on First Take.
Yes. Shannon Sharp even said, "Cody, if you need help, let me know."
Yeah.
Like, it's...
This is,
it's getting the reaction they wanted.
If Travis helps with Cena's heel theme, if they're not going to be using the heel theme that was recorded a decade or so ago, if Travis has something to do with it, it makes even more sense. Because you know what? I'm sorry, I'm looking at this picture on our screen right now. This is badass. This looks amazing.
I just wish Travis wasn't smiling.
Yeah, get a little bit more of a mean look on his face. But he was proud of what he did. He's
Yeah,
proud
he was lighting up
slapped
Sage in the corner, you know.
Yeah, I was like, at first, I was like, what is he doing?
Not a blunt.
No, that was Sage.
Sage.
Oh,
I thought it was a blunt
Sage?
too,
It was
but
Sage.
That was a huge ass blunt.
Because it was like, I was like, why
But
are
he
you
had the-
Sage?
he had the blunt on Raw when he came out with Jey Uso. All right.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, man, shit's gonna happen, you know. But with the heel turn with Cena, some people are saying it's too late. Maybe it is, but his last year, I think it's perfect
Yeah.
because he first arrived, you know, and then a little bit he turned into a heel. You know, like the best stories are always stuff that you can recreate. This reminds me of Vince McMahon and The Rock a little bit. Corporate Cena and The Rock. Like, it's just... I'm
He writes
excited to
himself.
see what happens with Cena. What will he say? Like, what he did at the post-press conference was amazing. Just sat there. Yeah. Boom. Mic drop. Left.
Walk out.
Like...
I didn't
This-
want him to say anything the first night anyway, though.
I was kind of hoping he did because of like Hogan at Bash at the Beach 96. I wanted to see,
I wanted to hear that kind of a program.
Yes.
Promo. Yeah.
like, yeah, I did
Not
sell
yet.
out, you know? I did sell out.
You don't
It's
need
a
to
pretty
know.
good. It's a pretty good name.
Yeah. Like, I did sell out. You know, I'm going Hollywood, you know, blah, blah.
He's
But
already,
here-
he can
but-
already say, I am Hollywood already.
But
Why are you
also he
surprised?
could do this. I align myself with The Rock because I want that 17th championship. And that is what.
He was acting heelish back at the Royal Rumble in the press
Oh,
conference.
I know. but remember, you could sell your soul to get that record.
And he didn't just sell his soul; he sold everything.
All the memes with the Break-A-Wish kid.
Punk's promo on Raw on Monday summed it up perfectly. When he was mocking the Goosebumps suit, I lost my shit. That was hilarious.
Because McAfee's like instigating and he's
Yeah.
like, rock. But
Wow, like
tell
where do
me
we go?
this. WrestleMania season, WrestleMania 41 just got more interesting.
Well, a lot of people were saying that it hadn't started after the Royal Rumble. It was a slow build. Not much was going on. Elimination Chamber is when the road to WrestleMania started,
But
in my opinion.
Also, what happened Monday with the women's title change?
That as well.
Here, you know what that told me? Anything can happen.
Yep.
Like, it's unpredictable.
And whether or not Rhea has any kind of undisclosed injury, like you said, Joey, anything can happen in this era. People were saying, "Oh, you know, all of us have wanted Cena to turn heel for years and years and years." None of us thought that it was going to happen during his retirement. Look at all the merch that he's been selling. Look at all the signature belts in every town that he goes to. Right? What's going to happen now? If there's Cena heel merch,
Dude.
take my money.
I
my
told
money.
Vinny this the other day. I said, I think it was yesterday. I was like, dude, I kind of want to buy a Cena shirt now. Like,
If there's
Dylan and I
not-
wore our red Cena hoodies. We were matching with the anticipation that he was going to turn corporate. And that's why we were wearing out, because Dylan's a big Cena fan. My brother is 10 years younger than me, and he mentioned this earlier in the show in the comments. He grew up watching Cena. For him, Cena was his Rock, or was his Stone Cold, or was his Hulk Hogan. His childhood died on Saturday.
Like,
when he
does Cena
turned
get
heel.
new gear? Like,
He's
what's
gonna have to.
Yeah.
Or is he, even if he wears the jorts, maybe it'll be darker. I don't know, but
Well,
he's got to embrace a different
No.
look than what we've seen.
Now, it's not bigger than what Hogan did when he turned with the NWO,
We're gonna get to that in just a minute.
but it's going to be interesting.
For what that heel turn meant, Hogan's heel turn, it changed the business as we know it. And we're very critical of Terry as a person. Terry is a fucking garbage human being. But if we're talking just context of wrestling, Hulk Hogan and what he did for professional wrestling in general.
WWE, WCW, and TNA, like what
That
he did for those
pushed-
3 promotions.
That pushed the Monday Night Wars.
Yeah.
That changed everything. This heel turn, although I would argue is the biggest heel turn in the modern era, and
Jones
it's
is
not
going to
even
block me.
close. It's not even close. But Cena turning heel does not change wrestling as a whole. It doesn't benefit AEW in any way. If it had happened in AEW, that's a completely different story. Hogan turning heel changed the landscape as we know it. And that's where I would still put Hogan's heel turn as number 1, but this is a very close number 2.
I know who I want to beat Cena for the championship already. R-Truth.
Oh, no. Please, no.
No.
It's childhood
Listen,
hero.
listen to it out. R-Truth is look. I don't know if you've been paying attention to him on social media. First night he said, "Oh, that was AI. This can't be real." Yeah. Nope, that wasn't him. This isn't real. Someone's pretending to be him. He's refusing to believe it. He said, "No, not John Cena." So I'm saying R-Truth can get beat up right now. Somewhere down the line, because I'm predicting SummerSlam. The reign will end. Maybe a little after. Because he can terrorize the summer. Put the belt on him. Put the belt on R-Truth. He doesn't have to hold. Remember, you got a Money in the Bank cash in. Still lingering out there. You also got the factor is he can win it the next night. Or you can do it like this. Chris Jericho, R-Truth. He wins, match gets restarted. Cena's still
him
your
and
champion.
Triple H.
Yeah. That's what's like. You can still do that. See what kind of reaction you get from the crowd. I honestly thought that's what they were going to do with Jey Uso. But that's not what we did. We went in a different direction. I love Jey. I just don't think he's going to make it far past Mania as
I
champion.
think he's going to lose it shortly afterwards.
Here's my thing with Jey. Okay. People are saying it's a Kofi thing and a Daniel Bryan, like, Jey run. I'm going to say no, because if you've been watching wrestling, if you're a fan, Jey's been... Kofi only got that spot because Mustafa Ali got injured. And Kofi had a showing in that Elimination Chamber, being the final 2 with Daniel Bryan. So after that, he got that push. 2 months. 2 months. Daniel Bryan was a little bit. I don't know how long it was, but it wasn't that long. Here's what Jey. If you look at Jey and Jimmy, Jimmy was always the one that was the talker. You always thought of Jimmy as the flamboyant, like the Shawn over the Marty, or the Brett over the Jim the Anvil Neidhart. When Jimmy got injured, when Roman came back, and Jey was the right-hand man, Jey jumped Jimmy, okay? Jey's been over since then, so I'm going to say 5 years, 4 to 5 years.
He was He was an integral part as Roman was going up.
Yes.
So was Jey. He was right behind him.
Because when Roman got that belt, him and Jey won the number 1 contenders, and they were feuding. Then the bloodline happened.
That's right.
Jey has been over for 4.5 years. If you've been watching wrestling, you would know this. So if you call it a Kofi moment, fucking watch wrestling.
It's not.
Okay.
His is more. His was the most organic build out of anyone.
Yes. Yes. Like, Jey has been over. Jey was a right-hand man in the bloodline. Jey, even when Jey was in the bloodline, Jey was over with the fans. Now, do I think Jey will get his moment at Mania? Yes. Do I see him losing it shortly after, kind of like Priest? Yes. He could quite possibly. But I will tell you this. I was at that Raw after the Rumble, the first Raw after Rumble. When Jey came out that place was loud. Like the loudest I've ever seen. And when I got home, I turned it back on and rewatched it just to hear how loud it was. Jey has that personality, and like I said, Jey, I get frustrated when people say it's a Kofi moment. Because Jey has been over for 4.5 years.
Did you guys see the custom Raptors Jey Uso shirt that they
were
selling?
Yes, that was
Those
nice.
sold out. Dude, those sold out on Friday.
I can believe it.
When I went to the Raw, I didn't get a shirt, okay? I was looking at Stan. My son got a Penta shirt. I was looking at the orange Yeet shirt, okay? And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to buy it. You know, this was like right before the show started. So we sit down. Jey comes out with that orange Yeet shirt. And I'm like, damn, that thing looks fire live, you know? I go back to the merch stand, all out. I went on WWE Shop and ordered the red Yeet shirt because it was on sale. But now, let me pivot to this. I think it's going to be Punk that will be taking the belt off Cena. I don't know why. I just have that little hunch. After his promo from Monday, I see it as Punk.
I first thought that Punk was going to be going after the World Heavyweight Championship before all of this happened.
I thought
that was the direction that they were going to go. Now I agree with what Joey just said. Going after Cena win, because let's be honest, I think Cena's definitely walking out of WrestleMania with that title. Cody doesn't have a chance in hell, especially now that he's aligned with The Rock.
Now, what if Austin? Because Austin did go on that little.
Austin
thing.
comes out, then it's fair game. But I still think Cena is going to win his 17th championship, and so he should beat Ric Flair's record.
There's still 2 more people, though.
These balloons, you're just celebrating everything, Jones.
There's 2 more people. 2 more people. Trust me.
2 more people. What do you mean?
The corporation, it's going to be like a little faction. It's going to be more people. It may be more than 2 people. Because I expect the tag team. I expect a woman to join them. Like, they're really going to control the belts.
It's going to be a corporation.
Mm-hmm.
John, I think it blossomed organically. That's that where you look at Daniel Bryan and you look at Jey Uso, it blossomed organically. This happened because the fans love these guys. The fans love Jey Uso. Jey Uso has the it factor. Jey Uso is just a natural, charismatic aura. And when he comes out and he gets thousands upon thousands of people who may not even necessarily be a Jey Uso fan on their feet, yeeting, I think it's a no-brainer that he also walks out of WrestleMania with the World Heavyweight Championship.
Go back to France.
It was one of the loudest.
That entrance at France is undeniable.
That's why I say Jimmy getting injured was the best thing for Jey during that time, because
Absolutely was.
when Jey came back, you saw Jey's personality and what he can do.
And I can see this happening, Fro. I can see Jimmy's first challenge being the first challenger for Jey after Mania. We know he's not going to take the title off of his brother, but I wouldn't put it past Jacob Fatu from being the one to possibly dethrone Jey.
I'm telling y'all now, the day he gets that belt, y'all not going to be able to shut me up. It is going to be undeniable.
It's the first wrestler Jones is going to use in 25.
It's going to.
It'll be the only wrestler he uses.
No, when Abyss shows up, Jones is going to use Abyss.
It all depends on which music he has. If he has a generic version of his music,
What if he comes out like?
If he has his real theme, I'm sold. But if he doesn't, I'm going to be pissed.
I hope that they edit the legends that they're going to be adding to the game, and certainly with their Titantron and things. I don't want them to have just their
name or legend logo.
Yeah, they have to. Like, I saw Scott Steiner's entrance, and they didn't even have the red lighting. And I know that might not be a big deal for some, but it's a big deal for me, because when I think of Scott Steiner and I hear that siren, the red lights. They got to be spinning.
And for those of y'all who saw, like, we're jumping around. Why would he do that to me? We're jumping around. We're talking about 2K25.
Jones is going to be the special guest referee in that match. He's just not going to be.
The referee's going to be knocked out. So what's the point? I'm going to pass
Don't
out.
do that, Tav. Don't do that, Tav. No.
We're jumping around a little bit, but 2K25. Yeah, the DLC listing has come out. Remember this. They always have tricks up their sleeves. So there's some names not on there that will be part of the game.
And they're purposely not on that list.
I'm about to say they can easily be patched in later.
The Hardys.
I expect the Hardys, the Rascals.
Demolition
Maybe next year. Next year. They may try this year, but next year because they just signed the deal, the Legends deal for them.
Even Big Rubber guys are pushing their Demolition figures that were supposed to be released in the summer to now just because of that Legends deal. They have to pump out whatever licenses before.
I'll say Travis Scott is going to be one of the celebrity guests.
And I expect Joe Hendry to be added in as a last-minute surprise.
I might have to buy the game if Joe Hendry is added, because if we're playing online again, I have to use Joe Hendry against Joey. Full entrances.
Come Friday, somebody's getting thrown off that SmackDown fist. I don't know who it's going to be, but somebody is.
I haven't played John PlayStation in about a year. And now that I've got a baby, it's going to be very, very hard. So
I pre-ordered it. I got the Bloodline edition.
I haven't pre-ordered it yet, and I'm on the fence about the Bloodline edition.
Jones, you got till Friday to get it early.
See, the thing with the way they set it up,
Jones.
it's almost like you have to buy the Bloodline edition,
Jones.
because if you don't,
they got Yoko and Hogan at King of the Ring 93, Jones.
I forgot that is part of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Every game, Jones, that comes out, you have to do the beatdown on Hogan.
Jones, they got the Nation of Domination Rock, man. Come on.
Like, everyone has to just kill Hogan in the game.
Yeah. They got the WrestleMania 9 arena, the best WrestleMania of all time.
See, here's the thing people don't realize. When there's a Hogan on my game, I take his stats down as low as possible. And I make him a jobber on my game.
I won the Rumble against Vinny with Hogan last week. Just like.
This is how we come full circle. This is how we go back to that.
He's a real American, Jones.
For those of you who
Fights
are
for the right.
For those of you who are
Jones.
still watching with us live, and I know it's late, and this is much later than we usually go on, but for those of you still watching, we talked about two of the biggest heel turns of all time. For those of you watching in the chat, I want you to vote
That's
A,
crazy.
B, C, D, or E. What is, in your opinion, the best heel turn from this selection here? Is it what we just saw at Elimination Chamber in Toronto with Cena turning on Cody and aligning himself with The Rock? Is it Hulk Hogan being the third man and joining the NWO? Or is it Seth turning on Roman, breaking up the Shield? Is it Austin aligning with Vince? Or is it HBK turning on Marty?
First of all, he didn't turn on Marty. Marty jumped through the plate glass window.
Okay, he was a coward. He was a coward.
He still is.
Sadly, I saw, like, I'm old. I'm dating myself right now. I've seen every one of these actually as they actually happen live.
Yep. My favorite part about E is the commentary by Bobby Heenan.
Yep.
And when they shook hands, he's like, see, I told you, one without the other isn't no good. Then as soon as HBK kicks him, see, I told you, I knew he was going to do that. He don't need Jannetty. I told you that all along.
But I think for a lot of the older fans who have been watching wrestling for a longer period of time, E was the first heel turn that really, maybe not the first, but one of the most.
Andre heel turn was pretty big when he took the chain off Hogan, and everything.
Andre, you got Macho Man and Hogan on Saturday Night's Main Event.
That's right.
The main event 3, right?
Yeah.
But what's the biggest? What's the biggest?
The biggest
For me, it's B.
The biggest heel turn.
The biggest heel turn.
Will Jones acknowledge it?
Jones, what's the biggest heel turn? Say it.
For what it did to save a
surprised
company that was going to die. Otherwise, I was a big WCW guy, and like it pains me to even say this because
I'm surprised you don't have Roman up there.
I can't stand
with
him.
Heyman.
Because his was done so differently. Yeah. Nobody really got hurt. His got happened backstage.
Michael, we're waiting. You have to acknowledge it. What's the biggest heel turn?
I'm going to put it to you like this: for industry changing standards, I will give it to.
You just say the letter if it's easier.
Macho Man for taking a leg drop from a jackass. But A was probably the most unexpected one because of the timing.
It's because of the timing. Mm-hmm. Because I think we said this earlier.
Because we know he's on his way out.
That's it. That's what threw us off. That's what completely undermined all of this. This was his retirement tour.
And the story too. Remember when he was feuding with the Rock? He's like, Rock left to go to Hollywood, and now
you did the same thing.
Did the exact same thing.
See,
I would dare say, I'm gonna put the graphic up one more time. I would dare say, I think all of us collectively can agree that B is what really changed the business as a whole. And we're not taking away that. B aside, NWO aside. And I don't know if maybe it's because I'm biased. Maybe it's because I was there. Maybe it's because it's just fresh in my mind and it just happened. But I would say that Cena turning is the biggest heel turn in a very, very long time. And I still might say it's second to Hogan. I thought it was incredible.
Yeah. Austin's heel turn was cool, but Austin himself has regretted it. He said he should have never turned heel.
And see, like as a fan, like I disagree because I loved heel Austin. I did
love him, especially with him and Angle in the backstage and everything. Yeah. Like
there were so many
cowboy hat, the singing the song, with getting on Vince's nerve. I'll tell you this, Hogan. Here's another thing. Have you ever seen fans throw trash in the ring after a heel turn?
Not like that.
Yeah.
I mean, those fans were like...
Well, WCW fans should have been arrested.
I mean, yeah, you had a lot of fans jump to guardrail.
Yeah, but like fans were morons.
But you never expected it with Hogan because of that run. And it was just... If Hogan never happened, Cena would have been number one. Cena's a close two. But that Hogan run changed the whole trajectory of WCW. If he didn't do that, where would WCW be at?
Same place it is now, dead.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you know what, like...
but we wouldn't have gotten the moments that we got in the WWF. The Monday Night Wars would not be the same. That changed everything. And that's why wrestling evolved the way it did. That's why we had the high periods. That's why we had the lows that followed suit. And I look at where we're at today and having Cena turn heel and align with The Rock and become Hollywood and join and become basically everything he said he was never going to be.
Hollywood Cena.
Yeah. He's everything that he hated. And when Punk said, like, you turned your back on those kids, dude, he was doing Make-A-Wish meets with children in Toronto before the Elimination Chamber. And then he goes out and he pulls that. And then you look at all the videos that parents have been uploading of their children crying either because of Cena or just at least watching Cody get his ass kicked. My little guy, Adrian,
I was
stayed
about
up.
to say, speaking of which, how's that working?
He stayed up though and watched the entire event. And when we got home, the first thing he did is he ran to me. He said, "Dad, Cody was bleeding." And he said, Cena beat him up. And this was at like almost midnight. And he stayed up and he watched the whole event. And he had to tell me that Cena beat up Cody and Cody was bleeding. He's like, he has to go to the hospital. And he's 3, bro.
What if you came home and your son had like a Cena action figure with its head taken off or like something, you know, like that?
I'd be proud. I would be proud.
I'll tell you this, as a fan, when I was younger, I had a shirt. Wrestler that I liked got beat up by the NWO. I was so mad I cut that shirt in half.
See, and a lot of people, you reminded me, Joey, a lot of people were throwing out their Cena signs at the Elimination Chamber when we were leaving. They were all over the floor. They were in the trash cans, and kids were visibly upset and crying when we left the arena.
Imagine if
it was
found
amazing.
Like a Cena
it
belt
was
in the
amazing.
Trash. You would have been like, whoop. Found like a Cena belt in the trash, and I'm like,
Speaking of which, hold on. I'll just grab something really quick.
So yeah, it's a time to be alive again. WrestleMania, like Joe said earlier, WrestleMania interest just shot through the roof
for 35 Canadian dollars, which I don't know what the market is right now, but like that's amazing. I put it in a frame.
Yeah,
something to have, something to mark the occasion. And $35, I couldn't pass it up. Where else am
I gotta find my Cena one I got at Raw, but I got a Cena, Cody, and a Punk one.
I have the same.
Yeah,
I have the same. Cody's in Adrian's room, and Punk's on the wall. I gotta find the spot.
The Punk one. I gotta frame them. I need a Tiffy one. You know?
The Elimination Chamber little mini belt.
I didn't see the mini belt.
Online, it looked like shit. I was like, no, I'm not going to buy this garbage. It looks like crap. In person, and I don't know how it's going to show on camera. But
okay.
It surprised me. It was nice. And because of everything that happened, I had to grab it. Just a nice little keepsake.
All things considered, makes sense.
Memento.
Yeah.
I was there.
Yeah, and it says that on the inside front, I was there. So pretty cool. But it was fun. It was a good show. And like you said, what a time to be a wrestling fan. What a time to be.
Now we're on the road to WrestleMania.
100%. And when you've got the partnership with TNA, you've got now a partnership with NWA that's been dying, if not dead, for a long time. But if this
came out of nowhere.
That completely.
Oh, I just thought of this. There was reports about like WrestleMania ticket sales not doing so good.
Now, is that because of the price?
See, that's what
very expensive.
That's what I want to know, because now I want to see what will the ticket sales do now after this.
They're not going to last long. What little is left won't last long.
Yes,
they do, Fro. I've seen it.
Yeah, I think it was a Mattel creation, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, they do have an Elimination Chamber for the Mattel figures. I think a lot of the tickets will sell. Absolutely, after what happened at the Elimination Chamber and what's going to happen leading up to between now and then, the 6 weeks. But the price is still very steep. And just given everything that's going on in the world right now and the price of everything kind of going up, it'll be interesting to see if it does sell out, just because it is a factor.
Even
but
if it
for
doesn't
those
sell out,
can,
they'll say it's sold out.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. They'll say it's sold out even if they don't. But if it doesn't sell out, I think it'll be fairly close regardless, because those hardcore fans will find a way. Now the scalpers might lose out, and they might not make the money that they're hoping to make. But the sign of the times, man. Like
I'm about to say, yeah. The closer you get to the event, there's going to be some pretty decent seats. They're going to go very cheap.
like if you make your traveling accommodations and you go there and you buy a ticket the day of, you might get a very, very good deal if you kind of put all your eggs in one basket. Because that tends to happen. A lot of people will buy the ticket the day of the event and get a pretty good price.
I know somebody that did that for SummerSlam when it was here. Like, every year, you know, I look forward to WrestleMania. I'm sure we all do. WrestleMania is the granddaddy of them all, the pinnacle. I'm looking forward to this year's WrestleMania. Like, it's got that kid in me coming out. Like, oh, this is gonna be good. Like, everything that happened.
Because it's so hot right now, even for our generations, right? To enjoy it, kind of come full circle. Like here we are talking about Marty and HBK. We're talking about Austin. We're talking about Hogan. We're talking about all these great heel turns that have happened in the past. We're still watching. And the fact that the younger generation is experiencing this, can you imagine being 13 years old right now and living through this? This is pretty awesome. This is pretty damn cool. And like you said, Joey, it brings out that inner child in you right now.
You know what's great? Like, this just popped in my head. Dude, this is one thing about being a wrestling fan is your mind races when you think of shit like this. Cena's heel now. What if he turns face before he leaves? Like what if that shit happens? Like, he turns on The Rock and he becomes a face and he leaves a face. Like, the redemption. Like, you're like...
Here's the other thing. If he's a heel, is he actually going to retire at the end of the year? Like he says he's going
to have to now.
Right?
I lied about everything else, so what makes you think I'm telling the truth now?
Right? I don't believe at this point, I don't believe that Cena is going to be retiring at the end of this year.
I just want him to show up and start messing people up, like when the NWO did it, you know? Like maybe have The Rock or somebody long dart Rey Mysterio into a truck or something.
Well, maybe we'll have Rey Fenix as a substitute because he should be in WWE soon.
Yeah.
And if he's a DLC person in 2K25, I'm definitely not downloading it, and I'm definitely not playing against Joey with Rey Fenix. Because I learned with Fight Forever.
Listen here.
I think all of us did.
So me and Vinny played Fight Forever 2 weeks ago.
You were probably the only two logged in on the servers. It must have been smooth for you because no one else is playing that game.
I re-downloaded the game because I deleted the game. So we played. I had to ask him, like, yo, how do you pick somebody up? Like, I forgot the controls. But Rey Fenix, that super kick still lives on. Let me tell you.
Muscle memory kicked in, didn't it?
Literally.
Did you beat Vinny at least?
Oh, you know it. I just kept super kicking him. He's like, what the fuck? We were playing on a beach.
Who is he? Who's his character?
Vinny Vegas.
Oh, it was Vinny Vegas. He wasn't Paul
that
White.
was his last guy because we were playing the Casino Battle Royal.
So he was Big Show a bunch of times too. That.
Oh yeah. And Owen Hart. You know, that would be like, yeah, he picked like 5 Paul Wrights the one time.
Yeah, I can't. Fro says Cody's going to go over. Rock confronts Cena after the match. Cena AA's Rock, and then he gets his Mania celebration sent off and send everyone home happy, and their hero has. Wow, what a swerve that would be. What a swerve. We shall see. I want to see if Austin shows up, if he's tied into it somehow, some way, because a lot of people were hoping that Austin would have been in Undertaker's position last WrestleMania, right? But
he don't travel, so it was understood.
That's right.
What if Austin shows up and turns on Cody?
Oh, shit, poor Cody. Then my son will falling his eyes out even more.
But the hero has to have the tragic story so he can have the redemption arc.
That's right.
I mean, Ric Flair can show up. Ric Flair may be the only one that come and help Cody.
I try to refrain from commenting on Ric Flair's posts, but on Instagram it pops up on my feed, and I commented. I think I said something like stop trying to like make yourself the center of attention or something, and I got like 300-400 likes or whatever it was, and so many people are just like stop, Rick, stop.
Ooh, I like that, Tad. Hell yeah!
Hey, in today's in today's climate with wrestling, if they can uncensored tell Rock to go F himself,
and he has to use the STFU too.
What if that is the Break-A-Wish submission? Because they
Oh,
tried,
milked that.
they did the trademark for the Break-A-Wish.
Oh my god. There's money to be made, and I can say I'm excited to buy some. I don't have a Cena shirt other than the sweater that I wore. But I would love some Cena
honestly,
heel
don't
merch.
want him to sell the heel merch.
No?
Do like JBL. Refuse to have merch.
Oh,
way they
yeah.
hate
Did you
you.
hear that story? That story was
That way
great.
they hate you.
He went up to
That's
the
a
merch stand and pulled it.
I'm gonna be like we said at the beginning of the show. This is a year to be kinder and nicer. I don't wish harm on anybody other than Ric Flair. That's it. Please don't get back into it.
On that note, I'm calling it a night.
Gentlemen, this has been fun. It's nice to be back.
Yeah.
I have to try and do this. If the later time works, we'll be back. If not, you might just see me somewhere else.
Hey, I love the interaction tonight with everybody, man. This was amazing.
It was a lot of fun, especially for a later show. Thank you for everyone who joined in. It's a big event to talk about, but we are on the road to WrestleMania, and Pounding the Meat will be with you along the way. On behalf of Michael Jones and Joey B, good to be back, boys. Nice to see you. Have a good night, everybody.